ESPN says Byrum Brown is a Tier 6 quarterback? Tier 6?
Well, it's not going to work in the SEC. Those windows close too quickly.
On Isaac in the backfield. Brown's going to fake it to him. He's going to take a shot deep, looking for Nimrod!
It's not mechanically sound.
Player, but he's going to struggle throwing in the SEC.
Singleton and Byrum Brown are on the same page.
And use his feet. Great protection and looking down the far side. He's got it.
Byrum Brown is an interesting prospect with an incredible career so far. I know he threw for 3,000 last year and rushed for 1,000. And I think I heard he's like the 12th guy to do it. He's also the type of guy that doesn't care about what we did last year.
You already know what it is, War Eagle.
In the year that I've spent with him, and the offseason that I've spent with him so far, it's just like trying to figure out how to do this better. And that's coming from a guy who's already been doing it at a really high level. And I think most people, if they don't know anything about Byrum Brown, it's because they didn't watch South Florida last year. More likely to watch Auburn this year, and especially with their schedule, and opening up with Baylor, and then getting right into SEC play and all that stuff. So it's gonna be, I think, one of the biggest storylines in college football this year is gonna be Byrum Brown in a Heisman run every week, because of how productive he is. And then I think when he's only played in a couple of SEC games. I'm not a stat guy. Somebody told me this, and I think it's true, that I think he's like averaging, almost 300 yards passing and almost 100 yards rushing just against SEC teams. So he's kind of already done this. And so he doesn't care about the past, and he doesn't care about predictions. And I'm not putting words in his mouth, but I know that that's true because of how present he is.
I'll go on the first baseline, slider in my right foot, step, pull it underneath. Little steps. Slider in my right back foot. Squeeze them together. Can I get ankle extension as I pull them together on the left ankle? Good, shake it out for a sec and we'll go back. We'll just face the same direction, put it in our left foot and squeeze it together. Yeah, left foot, step out to your right. Let's get the adductors going, you feeling it?
Yes, I am.
Years.
1, 2, shh. As soon as you get on your left foot, I'm literally pushing my feet apart. Scissor. Right there.
Movement prep is a huge part of what we do. Even just sometimes we're doing movement for an hour before we touch a ball in a 2-hour throwing session. Throw for an hour at the end. The idea that the movement that precedes the throw, what you did on your drop or when you set up or the position you got yourself on the run, the movement that precedes the throw is actually what's going to lead to the consistency if it's good, or the inconsistency if it's not. And so majoring in human body movement, how do we apply force to the ground? How do we maintain leverage? For it to be an efficient movement, every time the foot hits the ground, it has to be active in creating stability, creating a movement, decelerating or changing direction. If not, it's going to be a crutch. All of those, like learning all those things and then taking the football out of the hands and focusing on it and training your body to do that.
There you go, buddy. Woo! All right, so we saw it yesterday at the office, right? Mike went through. You guys just went through this part of it of being able to decel, change direction into a back pedal. Okay, we also worked that gallop. Okay, leaving the pocket, right, left. Okay, just that heavy.
So I've been out there quite a bit. He's been out here quite a bit. But I think the most relevant story that encapsulates it is the first time he came out here, he was supposed to come out for 2 or 3 days, and then he was going to go back to school for 2 or 3 days, and then he had a planned vacation. And he ends up canceling the go back to Auburn part, stays here for like 6 days, and then flies to Cabo from here. We told him, go relax, have a great time, let's check back in. Again, this is our first time meeting him. Let's check back in when you get back from your trip. And the second day of his trip, he sends me videos of the things that we told him to do with a weighted ball into a wall, sequencing. You know, his girlfriend's videoing him at the hotel do the thing because he wants feedback. And I'm like, okay, if this guy is gonna go on, extend his trip to work, he's not running around having fun out here, and then go on vacation, and basically the first day that he gets there, want feedback on things that he's doing at 6'5", 238, running the way he runs, throwing the way he throws, being as smart as he is and the person that he is. I'm like, if that's how you're gonna approach this thing's gonna go awesome. But the other, not a prediction guy, but the other thing that I am predicting is that I don't think anyone sees Auburn coming. These rankings, the conversations, the chat room, I don't think anybody sees Auburn coming. Being out there, seeing what's going on, being other places, I think this could be a really, really special year and a fun time to be an Auburn Tiger fan. And it's not all him, but it definitely starts with him. And it's the approach, it's the character. And then ironically, I think the only physical comp for him would be Cam Newton. The irony there is just so thick. So just wrapping, really the final session with Byrum of the off season. So we started sometime in January, and he's been out here multiple times. I've been out there, a lot of phone calls, a lot of Zoom, a lot of FaceTimes. So it's been on our side, I think, really well executed. On his side, A+. I mean, the buy-in, the work ethic, the character. I don't think I didn't know it. I mean, I didn't watch South Florida last year, so I didn't know really anything about him other than his tape. But you hear the coaches rave about him, and then you meet a player or two who raves about him. But honestly, most quarterbacks, their teammates love them, their coaches think they're great, right? But I did start to notice it was something different when people started saying things like the best kid I've ever been around from coaches, or the most humble star player. I started hearing like the most and the biggest from coaches and really good players. And so I was really intrigued in the beginning, because when you hear that and then you watch this highlight tape, it's like my 10-year-old son Ford watches all of my clients' highlight tapes, and like I think Byrum's one of his favorite highlight tapes to watch because of what he does. So then to get I really like 6 months and to like kind of wrap it, the in-person part of the off season today, and to be able to now map out the next 6 months, what has to happen each month, knowing that I'm not giving a cool speech. I'm helping a dude build his own plan that he will absolutely execute every facet of with 100% focus, and because that's been my experience with him, and that is the reputation that he's created. And I'm excited for a bunch of people's seasons, but Byrum in particular is up there, and I this is a cannot wait for September situation with Byrum. Trying to almost land on my left foot keeps me vertical. I don't care what foot you land on, but that keeps us vertical so that we don't get fading out of it. Cool, that's when you get long. That's when anybody gets long. Okay, we start leaning here, that's when the arm goes here. But we start getting here, that's when everything scrapes, right? And we get the scap retraction we're talking about. Transfer, that's what we get wide. We get here and we reach, and so now I'm here, and I gotta throw the ball as hard as I can. I gotta be here. Yeah. Now the other part is getting out of this spot, because there's a good Burrow clip where he's throwing a seam and he's trying to go 3 in a hitch, but he's open right away. So he kind of gets stuck doing a hitch and gets here, and you see him go and rips it. You know what I mean? He was gonna hitch, and it's like, oh crap, he's open right now, and he went. Like either way, these things got to turn. And ripped one. If you want to on the first one, climb right at him. That's totally fine. Let's just say this. This first one, let's climb right at him, okay? And then let's start to change our angle, and I'm using this to change. Make sense? I know. I don't text my brother about albums much, because he's kind of got, and I'm like,
Here's the 7 you need to. When we count saying,
man can't trust you. Pulling out the cash on camera, waterproof iPhone case, bro, splash on camera. She wanna pop on camera, sweetie, you could film, just don't put on camera. They just try to move so racist. We gotta.
People do not earn championships. I don't think you can earn a championship because it's like outworking everyone is not a thing. Caring more is not a thing. How do you even know how much they care? Let's do it. Can't wait. Yeah. Absolutely. Just approaching the last kind of in-person meeting of the off-season with Byrum. This is not goodbye, but dude's been out here a lot, and I've been out in Auburn, and a lot of FaceTimes, a lot of Zooms, a lot of calls. Today, this meeting, and I can't have this exact meeting with every client. Not every client has an actual opportunity to win the Heisman this year. Not every client in college is on a team that could win the national championship. In fact, as well as he played last year at South Florida, they were not in a position to win a national championship, and he was not in a position to win a Heisman. That changes this year, though. And so today, it's way less about what we've been doing mechanically, what we've been doing footwork-wise, some of the stuff we did this week. Let's look back at the last 6 months, but then let's look forward to the next 6 months. I learned so many lessons from my dad and so many other people, but one of the best things I learned from my dad is decide what you want and work backwards to today. A lot of people set goals and then they don't chart out like a set of behaviors that are going to lead towards the thing at the end. They just see the thing at the end and then they put their head down and they work hard. And then they lift their head up at some point and they find out that was enough or that was not enough. And I just think you map it out. And so we're going to go through like, all right, when's the championship game? When's the college football championship? And when's the Heisman Trophy? And what is the date of, if you have a first round bye? Let's look at January. And then what do we got to do in December to put ourselves in a position to have those things in January? What do we need to do in November to put ourselves in a position in December and go all the way back to August, to training camp? And setting an intention for each month, because we're going to be talking every single week. And whether I'm dropping videos in his folder, well, I will be dropping videos in his folder and we will be talking every single week. And so not, how are you doing? Keep it up. You're doing great, big guy. But very specifically, how do we manufacture? And I'll make the point to him that I don't think people win championships and I do not think people earn championships. Everybody works hard. I think people who win championships, I think, is because they built them. And most guys in their early 20s don't know how to build one. And a lot of times you can win a championship in high school because you are so good at football, or you and your 4 friends are so good at football and the other kids are not that good. And that's not how college football works right now. It's an entire organization. It's accountability, it's detail. And honestly, when you get a team like Auburn who hasn't won in a minute, they have won a national title, but it's been a minute, which means if they start off 5-0, 8-0, everyone in the building, it's the first time they've ever been 5-0 or 8-0. And so part of this is, got a bunch of guys, teenagers in early 20s, you got to corral these guys, you got to keep them together. You have to keep your head down, you have to keep it one game at a time. That's really hard to do at the professional level, let alone at the collegiate level. And you need a dynamic, playmaking leader, quarterback who's accountable and does everything right. It's kind of the only way that works. And so here we are in July, and I think Auburn has that. Worst case scenario, they have that. And as I've gotten to know them and be around the program more, I think they have a lot more than that. Really good at football, building up to that big one at the end, and we'll be talking before that, how we like, the key is to not make that the biggest game of your life. The key is to make it the maroon team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Okay? And heading in, and then handling this 2-week window, fitted for suits for the Heisman in New York, all that, then heading into the bye, all that, like we'll have a great game plan for how to manage that little window right there, to stay focused, to come out of it, to go on this run and play in Vegas on January 25th. You see it?
Yeah, I do.
It's 100% right here in front of you. There's a million reasons why it could fall apart and not happen. but you don't need a million reasons why it will. You have to take it one step at a time. So let's almost like, start here. Take your notes, but this is what we'll talk mechanics throughout the year for sure, but like this is what I'm gonna hold you accountable to.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't with everybody, because not everybody has an opportunity to do those two things.
For sure.
I think you build it. I think you build people off of experiences. You build piece by piece, in this case, month by month. You build this into a team who can win it at the end. These are gonna be hard this last month and a half. These are gonna be really difficult, everything's gotta go our way games.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think you can put your team in a position to act like that favorably works, that it works in your favor. Because when the ball doesn't bounce our way, we know exactly how to move on from it. When the ball does bounce our way, we know how to just put our foot on their throats, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Exactly.
you build that over time to put yourself in a position to win one at the end. Cool?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Huh?
Can't wait.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Moving as best as possible, but I don't know if everything's said. Like we gave you a bunch of information that's it's yours to go and take and suit to what Byrum Brown needs and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
never needed to look a certain way. Just chase that feeling.
For sure.
Yeah.
For
All right, bud.
I appreciate it.
Why did following Coach Golish to Auburn feel like the right move?
Felt like the right move because since he got to USF, I obviously had to work to earn the job, but he's done nothing but spoke life into me, give me confidence when I didn't have any off a season where I got injured. Still like saying you really him, like you're the best quarterback in the country. Him saying that and like me not really believing it until like, obviously went out on the field and started like doing what I did, and then like he really saw it in me. So following him was the right decision from the start.
What did you focus on while you were out here with QB Summit the most?
Really focusing on my mechanics, really getting the transfer of energy from my feet, my lower body. That's been the biggest part that I've been focusing on. So vertical force through my back foot to my front foot, get my left foot in the ground very quick, so I'm not getting overstriding and getting long, therefore making a nice tight motion every single throw.
What do you want Auburn fans to know about you as a player, you as a person, anything that Auburn fans need to know coming into this year?
Getting a dog. You're gonna get the best out of me every single game. I'm gonna demand the best out of my teammates, and it's gonna be a really special season. I can't wait. And,
Gave me a cup full of rain, he
you already
poured it
know what
over
it is,
every
War
stain
Eagle.
until he coming. Glory to the Father, you deserve the praise. Lead me to your altar, wash away my shame. Glory to the Father, you deserve the praise. Lead me to your altar, wash away my shame. Yeah, I just turned a milli down to be home with my son. Y'all don't get it, I can't gain a thing if I've already won. Still don't get it, I was fullback when my bank account was none. Cause my God the type to leave the 99 to get the one. This is life or death, I ain't making music just for fun. Glory to your name, Father, I pray that your kingdom come. And when Satan's on my heels, I pray it's Nike with the run. Make my heart beat more like Hezekiah, say it and it's done. Breakthrough, Lord Jesus, I need breakthrough. I've been doing things that made the Father have to break you. Living in my shame like the potter didn't shape you. But I know even in the storm, the water didn't wake you. The water didn't wake you. And that cross couldn't break you. Yeah, the darkness couldn't take you. Oh, yeah. Glory to the Father, you deserve the praise. Lead me to your altar, wash away my shame. Glory to the Father, you deserve the praise. Lead me to your altar, wash away my shame. to the Father. You deserve the praise. Lead me to your altar. Wash away my shame. Glory to the Father. You deserve the praise. Lead me to your altar. Wash away my shame.